Hello, I'm Alistair Dryborough, author of Pricing Genius, Getting Paid Properly for Ideas and Advice in the Era of AI. Now, if you are the sort of person who makes their living selling ideas, insight, expertise, say you're a consultant or you work in or you run a creative agency, that sort of thing, you really need to hear about a conversation I had with my mother recently. And she asked me, "How many hours a week do you work, Alistair?" Well, I said, that's a rather tricky question because I find that most of my good ideas just appear in my mind, apparently at random. And I have to conclude, therefore, that they come out of the unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind is at work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's particularly active when you're asleep. So I could plausibly claim that I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, my mother found this very peculiar, but my aunt, who was also there, totally got it. Now, my aunt had a very distinguished scientific career. She was the first female scientist at Cambridge to be awarded a personal professorship. She's was fellow of the Royal Society, member of the American National Academy of Sciences. There's a memorial lecture named after her at Cambridge. The American Society of Plant Biology has an award named after her, and so on, and so on, and so on. And she said, yes, the two biggest ideas I had in my scientific career both came to me while I was in the bath. And you may well recognize that because that's the way creative and ingenious people work. But think about what the effect that has on how we get paid. Now, every year for 40 years, sorry, every month for 40 years, the University of Cambridge paid my aunt a monthly salary. Sometimes they just got good, solid, competent work. Sometimes they got complete breakthroughs. But imagine what would have happened if they said, okay, Professor McRobbie, we'll just pay you for those two brilliant ideas that you had in the bath. And we don't know how long you spend in the bath, but let's be really generous and let's say half a day each time. So one day for 40 years' work. That's absurd. But so often, if you're a consultant or a creative person, that's what's happening. You're getting paid for the amount of time to do that particular work. But remember this, the vast bulk of what clients actually get from you, what they value from you, is not the time you spent working on their particular project. It's the time you spent getting to the point where you can do that particular project. How do you get paid for that if you're operating an hourly or a daily rate mechanism? So, if you're operating hourly or daily rates, you are seriously, seriously undervaluing yourself. What can you do about it? Well, obviously I'm biased, but I'd suggest start by getting the book.